This is a guide on reinstalling an LCD screen and a digitizer on the Apple iPad. Here's some background information on what the iPad screen assembly consists of. The user-facing glass sits on the plastic frame, which also incorporates a digitizer layer, which detects and interprets users' touch input. It uses a multi-touch capacitive technology to relay the user input to the system. The LCD screen is a typical LED backlit panel, which is made specifically for the iPad, but it is built on the same technology as any regular LCD display found in a laptop computer. The screen is mounted in the frame right behind the digitizer layer, and is part of the screen assembly, which comes out of the back cover in one piece during disassembly. Please note, this guide shows a regular iPad with Wi-Fi capability only. If you have a 3G capable iPad, we offer a separate iPad 3G digitizer frame assembly with a cellular antenna built in. It needs to be disconnected and reconnected during the assembly. Other than that, both tutorials would be the same. When opening an iPad, it is important to know the positions of the aluminum locking tabs and plastic teeth, which are part of the front assembly. The green line represents where it is safe to open the iPad, and the red line represents where it is not. The best place to start opening the iPad is in the middle of the top edge. We recommend using a flat, wide metal tool like a putty knife, which you can buy at any local hardware store. Please do not use a screwdriver, since it will leave visible damage on the aluminum edge. Insert a corner of the putty knife between the rubber gasket and the aluminum edge, and use it as a lever to start lifting the front assembly. Then move along the edge by repeating the same motion. Make sure you are placing your tool between the aluminum tabs. As well, you should not insert the putty knife deeper than half an inch to avoid any internal damage. Please note, during the process you are very likely to break some of the aluminum tabs, which is okay, since these are designed for single use, and our digitizer comes with a set of aluminum tabs pre-bolted onto it. Once the front assembly is lifted along the three edges, do not separate it further than 3 inches away from the back cover. At this point, you need to disconnect the digitizer's locking connector. Please be extra cautious on this step. Failure to unlock the connector will most definitely cause permanent damage. The connector is hard to see during disassembly, so here's a simulated view of what the connector looks like and how to open it. Pop open 2 plastic lips with a screwdriver on the opposite side of where the ribbon cable slides in. Then gently pull out the digitizer's ribbon cable. Once the ribbon cable is free, move to the ambient light sensor connector. Pop it off with a screwdriver. Then you can open the front assembly, just like a book, and move to the video connector. It's locked in place with a metal bracket, which needs to be lifted away before pulling the video cable out. Once all the cables are disconnected, separate the back cover and put it aside. Using a T4 torx screwdriver, remove 8 tiny screws, securing the LCD screen in place. Once all the screws are removed, separate the plastic tape securing one edge of the screen. Then using the putty knife, carefully lift the LCD panel away from the front assembly. The screen is glued in, so go slow and do not bend the panel excessively. Set the screen aside. Go ahead and remove the ambient light sensor, which needs to be reused on the replacement digitizer. At this point, you can prepare your replacement for installation. Remove any packaging tape and protective film from the inner glass. Gently place the screen into the front assembly. Then reinstall the ambient light sensor. Secure the previously taped edge with new tape. Then replace tiny torx screws along the perimeter of the LCD screen. As well, we recommend taping the ambient sensor lip. because it looks like a grounding connection, although it might not be. Now you can reconnect the front assembly to the back cover, starting with the video cable. Gently insert the connector into the socket and lock the metal bracket with a screwdriver. Insert the plastic teeth on the side of the aluminum back cover, then reconnect and lock the digitizer's cable. Using a screwdriver, secure the ambient light sensor connection. If you're working with the iPad 3G, you would need to reconnect the cellular antenna on this step as well. Then make sure no cables are protruding. At this point, you can start snapping the front assembly into the back cover. Start from the short edges, then move to the corners. Then you can remove the protective film from the front glass. At this point, you can test the iPad. Here you can see the video connection works, the ambient light sensor adjusted the brightness, and the new digitizer works when the unit is powered down. And you're done.